Last night, Luka Doncic made his official Lakers debut in one of the most anticipated debuts in NBA history, with most of the time coming from the Lakers organization, as we've seen before with guys like Shaq and LeBron, Magic Johnson as well. We've seen a lot of Laker legends that many people were excited to see debut, and this one was no different. Though he didn't have the greatest game in the world, he was coming back, and this was his first game since Christmas. So let's dive into how Luka played last night, how this team looked as a whole, and what we can expect from the Lakers for the rest of this season. So in his debut, Luka would end up playing only 24 minutes. This team was up by 30, even more than that at one point, though they would only win by 19. Yes, still a very big margin, obviously. They were up by a lot more than that, up by 30 at the end of the third quarter. So Luka decided he didn't really need to play the rest of the game. JJ Redick didn't want to stretch him out too far, especially up by that much. If it was closer, probably would have seen him come in towards the end, but they ramped up his minutes in the third quarter a little bit and got him to that 24 minutes total. He didn't shoot very well overall, 5 for 14, 1 from 7 from 3. His first game since Christmas, so, give him a little bit of a break there. It's been almost 2 months to this point. Did have 5 rebounds as well. He also had 4 assists. He looked pretty good out there. Only 1 turnover throughout this game, and 14 points overall. So that 3 obviously will come back. He didn't take too many terrible shots. He hit a few step backs. He just couldn't get it to go down, but that's what happens when you take that much time off. The Lakers have one more game before the All-Star break, so Luka will be coming off of the All-Star break with a good amount of rest. He's going to be going up against the Jazz again Wednesday, and then he gets a good amount of time. They've had 2 games postponed, so they'll have to make that up after the All-Star break. But Luka's going to have a very long time to rest and be recovered for the rest of this season once it starts next Wednesday, and they have their first game after the All-Star break, February 19th, where they'll then have 3 games in 4 days. So we'll have to see exactly how much Luka is going to be playing then as the Lakers make a push towards the end of the season. But outside of him, this team has looked like the hottest team in the league recently. When we look at them since January 15th, they've only had 2 losses. This team is stringing together wins. 6 in a row. A loss to the Sixers. 4 in a row before that. A loss to LA. 2 wins before that. So overall, they've just been dominating. 12-2 in the last 14, and they've just been great. This team looks great offensively. Defensively, they're putting up very good stats as well. That was the one thing that many people weren't sure about in the second half of this season because they hadn't been playing that great defensively. Since then, they've been great. Offensively, they're very good. That was the one thing that people maybe weren't sure about, that defense. AD, him being gone as well, but Luka was actually playing pretty well last night. It looked like he was going out there and trying pretty hard defensively, obviously coming off of that injury as well, not in immediate playing shape to play 40 minutes, but he was playing pretty solid defense out there, it seemed like, in most of those possessions. And this Lakers team, tied for the 3 seed as of right now. They have played less games overall than the actual 3rd seed when we look at it right now in the Nuggets. So technically they're the 4th seed, but the same amount of losses as the Nuggets right now with 19. And 3rd, 4th seed, whatever you want to call it, they're only 2 losses away from that 2 seed, the Memphis Grizzlies, right now. And with those games postponed, the Lakers really could go on a run and end up close to that 2 seed by the end of the season. And I'm not even going to lie to you, I wouldn't be surprised. This team, if they can continue to play like this, will be fantastic for the rest of the stretch, and I'm sure they're only going to get better with Luka playing there. It's going to be very hard to stop Luka and LeBron. Everyone knows this. The way that both of these guys play the game is very similar in a sense that you can just go out there and get it done. And this is the one thing that they stressed a lot last night, is that Luka playing for the Mavs, he's gone out there, he has times where he can just go down and shoot. He has to worry and sometimes have to be like, oh, I have other guys on this team as well that I have to make sure they get their shots in. And at this point on the Lakers, he doesn't have to worry about that. If Luka's hot, you're going to have him go down and shoot the ball. LeBron can go out there and feed everyone else. That's the one thing they stressed last night as well. especially with Luka, before, he had to set the table. As they would say, getting assists to open guys and stuff like that. If Luka's having a hot night scoring, that's fine. Austin Reeves, LeBron, they can go set the table for everyone else. LeBron, as we know, one of the best passers in NBA history. He can set the table pretty well for everyone else. Don't be surprised if LeBron has a 15, 20 assist night if Luka gets hot from downtown, or just overall, as we've seen him do so many times, going in those long scoring stretches. The one thing I would worry about this team is, yes, you're very hot right now, but you have to keep that momentum over the break, over that All-Star break. You have to keep this team hot because right now they're 9-1 in the past 10. I talked about as well that 6-game winning streak. The Nuggets are on a 7-game winning streak as well, right above them. So if the Lakers can continue to win, which looking at this schedule, especially after the break, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue this winning streak. They're going up against Utah before the end of before the start of the All-Star break. So they'll, in my opinion, win that game. I'd be surprised if they don't. Then going up against Charlotte and then Portland. I mean, continuing that win streak, I don't see how they lose those 3 games overall. And then you go up against Denver, and then you have Dallas, then you have Minnesota, and then back-to-back games against Los Angeles. So you have 3 more games where you can build this team up, and then you have some tough games right there. That Denver game, obviously going to be a tough game every year. The Lakers have not been able to get over that hump, but, it's different now. Different team. Luka's there. We'll have to see how that goes. The Dallas game, who knows? Luka may go out there and try to drop 50 against Dallas. I'm sure his over will be set pretty high in this game, and a lot of people will be trying to take that as well. Anthony Davis, unfortunately, won't be playing, but that is going to be a very fun game to watch as well. And then Minnesota in back-to-back games against the Clippers. This team's going to have to step up during that time period. If they can continue to roll, this team could soar up to that 2nd or 3rd seed by the end of the season, and I would not be surprised. This team just got a massive boost of energy getting Luka. They were very good before the break, but now they have so much more to play for. LeBron is just insane. This guy's going out at age 40 and doing incredible things every single night. I really don't understand how he's doing this at this age, and it seems like we say that every year, but the way this guy's shooting this season overall, 39% from 3 is just crazy for a 40-year-old LeBron James. Putting up 9 assists per game as well, 24.4 points. He's just been great overall. So there's really not much else to say for LeBron at this point. Him and Luka obviously going to go out there and continue to try to play very well. And this Lakers team, if they can stay afloat and continue this win streak, I wouldn't be surprised if they can end up as a top 4 seed going into the end of this season and getting a pretty favorable matchup in that first round. So let me know down below, how far do you think this Lakers team can go? When we look at it, the team itself may not be the greatest, but Austin Reeves has continued to play well, and then LeBron and Luka, as we both know, can carry a team to the finals by themselves. So it's going to be very fun to see them at full strength and see how well they can do once they finally mesh together. So let me know down below how far you think the Lakers can go this season, and I'll see you guys in the next one.